Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to today's webinar, Selecting the Right KPIs for Construction. I'm Susan Little, Product Marketing Manager at Acumatica, and I'll be your moderator today. We have just a few announcements before we begin. Today's presentation, as well as additional resources, can be found by clicking on the Resources tab in your viewing console. If you have any questions about the content of the session, please enter them in the Q&A text box, also in your viewing console. We will get to as many questions as we can at the end of the webinar. If you're experiencing any technical issues, please type your issue into the technical support text area. We will be glad to offer one-on-one assistance. And lastly, this webinar will be available on demand after the event. Now on to the presentation, Selecting the Right KPIs for Construction. Discussing today's topic is Mike Gillum, Construction Edition Product Specialist at Acumatica. Mike has over 23 years of construction software experience. He has worked in many roles with highly successful companies, including CCS, Viewpoint, Maxwell Systems, and Quest Solutions. Mike's work includes roles in product management, development, professional services, and business development, both domestic and international. To learn more about Mike's background, please click on the Speakers tab to the right of your media player. Now, I'm delighted to turn it over to Mike.
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Susan, and welcome everyone to this webinar on selecting the right KPIs for construction. A little bit about Acumatica before I jump right into the slides. Acumatica was founded in 2008, and we provide cloud business management software that integrates a company's financials, which include job costing, project management, customer relationship management, reporting, all in the cloud and on mobile. We're known for our leading-edge technology, best-in-class functionality, and we provide our solutions through a network of partners who specialize in and are knowledgeable about construction. One of the unique things about Acumatica is that 75% of our resources are dedicated to development and advancing our product. Let's take a quick look at the challenges contractors face and how a connected cloud solution like Acumatica can mean better decision-making and more profitable projects for you. One of the most common challenges of any construction business is profit fade. When that job's margin dims from view as work progresses or even finishes. And why is this? What makes this happen in all of these projects that contractors are dealing with? One of the issues there is barriers to profitability. And I'm going to list what those barriers look like here in just a second, but you'll notice over to the right-hand side, we've got a whole bunch of separate silos there. So you have CRM, financials, job costing, payroll, project management, customer management, business intelligence, cloud-to-cloud integrations, all sitting either in disparate products or separated in a company from a back office perspective. Project management throws something over the wall to accounting, accounting throws it back over the wall to project management, and there's no real collaboration of that data, and that's part of what these barriers to profitability represent. So those existing silos between accounting and field operations make a big difference on how that data gets updated in real time. And those silos cause information to not flow smoothly, right? Across your organization, an entire business is suffering because that data is not in real time, it's not updated, and it's in perhaps 5 or 6 different products. Trying to get that information out can be a difficult and arduous task. So the inability to determine which projects are profitable. You may have to dig through multiple binders and or products to find that information. Where are we from a work in progress perspective? Where are we from a profitability overhead perspective on a project? It really depends on which products you're using and what those barriers are. Lack of visibility on labor costs. That's one of the biggest components and most expensive variables on a project is that labor cost. Being able to understand exactly where you are from a labor perspective, whether it's internal labor or contract labor. Those external systems that I just talked about a second ago, the disparate systems that do not connect and require you to do manual data entry, which can, of course, cause potential errors, especially if you're utilizing spreadsheets to do that type of work. Older technology, legacy systems, perhaps server-based systems, limits transparency, access, and process improvement. It's hard to get the data out of those legacy systems, or not only is it hard, it can be quite expensive to do so. What a cloud provides you is an edge, and the edge that you're getting is bringing all of those disparate systems into one place. So you'll remember on the slide we were just looking at with those barriers, all those blue dots there, those clouds were separate, and they were silos, individual silos within an organization. What a true cloud product offers you is bringing those silos together. The customer sits there in the middle, and then you've got the project management, the BI, cloud-to-cloud integrations, financials, job costing, payroll, and even CRM, tying all that information together so the folks out in the field from an operations perspective and the folks in management or in the back office have access to that one single piece of software, giving you a single source of truth, right? Complete visibility and collaboration into your business and customers at any given point in time. And that's something that a true cloud solution is going to bring to the table. So what I'd like to do now is bring up a poll, and you're going to see that appear on your screen here in just a second. Once that poll comes up, you're going to see options there for answers. We're going to go ahead and give you about 60 seconds to start selecting your answers there, and then we'll talk about it just a little bit. All right, I'm starting to see the answers starting to come in. So it looks like, and we're going to wait just a little bit longer, but it looks like the majority of our KPIs that are currently being used are budget versus actual, which makes quite a lot of sense, followed closely by profit and loss. Sales pipeline coming in third right now, and none being fourth, but still quite a high percentage. Over 5% of you, almost 6% of you are saying that no KPIs are currently used in a business. And that's something that we're going to talk about today, what those key performance indicators are in your company, and what you should be doing from a KPI perspective, and how to manage those KPIs in your business and in a true cloud solution. So thank you for those answers. I'm going to go ahead to our next slide, which are different types of KPIs that are available to us. So what you're seeing there is an example of a KPI dashboard for a controller. So over on the right-hand side, you'll see that, and the type of information that can be displayed on these dashboards varies, obviously depending on your role in an organization. So the first types of KPIs are financial, right? Common financial KPI indicators or key performance indicators could be monitoring sales, costs, margins, cash flow, and asset utilization. Then we talk about project-based KPIs. Those are operational KPIs that are measuring things like schedules, materials, completion status, backlog, change orders, change requests, project issues, and more. And we can manage all of that from a dashboard perspective. Predictive KPIs are another type of KPI that we can include, utilizing bid activity to project cash flow and resource utilization. The ability to track billings and purchases to estimate future project progress, right? Utilizing a forecasting tool to understand where we are today on this type of project, where we're going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road, and then taking that information from a historical perspective and utilizing that across all of our projects. Cash management KPI, let's talk a little bit more about that. This is bringing together bank balances, billings, and invoices into a comprehensive view of cash flow. And I know that the picture over on the right-hand side there, depending on your view or the size of your screen, may be a little hard to see. but the ability to drill down from a dashboard, no matter where you are, you don't have to be in the office. You could be out on a job site. You could be traveling to and from a project or job site and have access to this type of dashboard with a true cloud solution because it's anywhere, anytime access. Doesn't matter which browser you're on. Doesn't matter if you're on a PC or a Mac or on a smartphone or a tablet. You have access to this type of information. What are the benefit of a cash management KPIs is providing you that information you need to make those commitments from a contractual perspective, to make your payroll commitments and the ability to manage your business. One thing I wanted to mention, there's a full screen icon in the upper right-hand corner of your window. That'll make your screen obviously get a little bit bigger and you'll be able to see those graphics a little bit better. So let's talk about project management KPIs. So we're looking at a project manager's dashboard, giving visibility on all of our projects. And that's going to provide things like expense versus budget, tracking projects from a drill down perspective, drilling down to those active and completed tasks, drilling down to the committed costs associated with a particular task, activity, or phase, the ability to look at time that's captured against the project and job costed against the project, and of course, last but not least, there is project profitability. One of the benefits of tracking project management KPIs is the drill down capabilities to get down behind the scenes into the data and understand exactly where you are from a budget and actual perspective. And a lot of you said that that's one of the KPIs you're currently tracking. Change orders, subcontractor commitments, compliance issues, and payroll details, all in one place, right there on that dashboard, or even inside of the project, the one-stop shop project screen within Acumatica Construction Edition. You have access to all that information on that one screen without having to go to 5 or 6 different screens. Project tracking KPI. So now we're looking at a WIP report or a budget report on that project, and ability to track things like billing and revenue recognition by cost code, by task, by whatever work breakdown structure you're using to create your projects. From a contract line item and other details, project cost budget status compares actual and committed costs by task and by subjob. So that offers you that parent-child relationship, being able to see a high-level task and then drilling down to the subjobs or schedule of values behind the scenes there. The benefit of tracking project KPIs are giving you access to those contract amounts, to the estimated cost commitments, and estimated gross profit by project. Again, right from a dashboard view within Acumatica. Profit analysis KPI. So now we're looking at a different dashboard there from a profit perspective. The ability to track original and revised margin markup and estimates, change orders, and revised amounts right inside of that screen, right inside of that dashboard, with the ability to drill down on a particular task or line item to see where you are from a margin perspective. Have there been any change orders on any of the commitments we have on that project? The benefit that that's going to provide is showing you how to analyze variances by those cost codes, by subcontractor, by labor, by material, by line item, allowing you to see if there are any deviations sooner rather than later and take action to bring those project costs back in line. Having access to that data in real time and being able to gain a view into your project, whether it's a future view, current view, or let's say you wanted to look at the project status from a WIP perspective a month ago, you have the ability to do that. And that's what these KPIs are going to help you do. So here's some steps in order to get started on tracking construction KPIs. First thing you're going to want to do is centralize that data in one application, taking those 5 or 6 disparate systems that you're using, and believe it or not, that is the number. We've done our research. There are some companies that are using 7 or 8 or even up to 10 different products to manage their construction project process. So being able to centralize that into a true cloud solution or a connected cloud offering is going to give you a lot more visibility from marketing and sales all the way to project delivery and billing. Second in that list of 5 steps is using the cloud to increase transparency between all teams, right? That opens up that collaboration door so that all of your subcontractors, all of the players involved in a project from an owner perspective to client to project manager, field super, controller, AR, AP clerk, all having visibility and transparency into the project is extremely important. Providing access to the software to all your employees, not worrying about license costs and license fees. There are no additional costs or fees with Acumatica Construction Editions. From a licensing perspective, you can have as many users in the system as you want. So that's going to provide relevant information without requiring double entry. The project manager or field supervisor out in the field is entering their information, approving bills perhaps. That is in real time updating everyone in the back office. There is no double data or double entry of that data. With a true cloud product, the ability to connect to other cloud products is an outstanding opportunity. Connecting key applications like ProS from a takeoff and estimating perspective, or Procore from a project management perspective to your construction accounting software just opens up all those doors for all those people involved in takeoff and estimating and managing the project to the back office accounting side. Having all that data flowing back and forth is going to make it a lot easier for you to manage those projects. The thing to start with is to define a small number of high impact KPIs and do it for an individual user or perhaps an individual role in your company. We're saying here no more than 8 or 10. You can even start with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different KPIs aimed at the critical factors that you want to focus on for that particular user, role, department, or project. So that's just 5 ways that you can start to take those steps to get into managing and creating KPIs that you can track in your construction business. So what are we talking about? Again, the cloud is providing you that edge, taking those disparate systems. You may have one system for takeoff, another one for estimating, another one for project management, another one for scheduling, another one for job costing, and another one for accounting. With a product like Acumatica, a true cloud solution, you're taking all of those pieces into one product, giving visibility for the back office folks, the field operations people to have access to that software, giving everyone a single source of truth with real-time visibility right into your business and your customers as well. So a little bit more about Acumatica. Again, I know I told you earlier we started in 2008. We have over 5,200 customers. We are headquartered out of Seattle, Washington. We have offices all over the United States, as well as a global presence. We've got 97% from an Acumatica support satisfaction rating, so we're very pleased with that number. And we are well known and looked at as one of the fastest growing cloud ERP vendors in the market space. So we are definitely on a fast growth trajectory. Let's take a look a little bit at the Acumatica Construction Edition. And these are just some of the features and functions within that product, but the ability to track your construction financials, the ability to do your job costing, revenue budget, cost budget, commitments, invoices, all of that right within that project, all within one screen within the Construction Edition. Project management functionality, things like project issues, drawing logs, daily field reports, all of that available inside of the Acumatica Construction Edition. In addition to the browser, there's also a mobile app. We know lots of contractors and individual users prefer to work from an app. They're just used to that. They're doing their banking on there. They're doing other things on their smartphone or tablets. While with Acumatica, you get that app at no additional charge, and you can customize that app to look exactly like your browser and have access to all your project information, your invoices, your approvals, expenses, change orders, dashboards, all sitting there on that mobile app. And Acumatica is built on our own cloud modern platform on the latest and greatest technology. And because we are focused mainly on the development and the technology side, that allows us to put all of our resources into those updates out into the software and to very quickly release features and functions to the market with feedback from customers and prospects like yourselves. A little bit more about our customers. So here you're just seeing a small sample of some of the types of contractors that are utilizing Acumatica Construction Edition. We've got general contractors, construction management firms, development companies, and then we get down into the specialty sub-trades. So we've got contractors that are doing mechanical, electrical, plumbing, concrete, roofing, all different types of contractors. And one of the things that we're really seeing an increase in the type of prospects that we're dealing with are related to companies that perhaps do some form of manufacturing or distribution in addition to construction. The Acumatica product and platform is the only product in the market that's going to allow you to have all of that under one roof in one solution. So we're very, very proud of that. And these are the types of customers that are utilizing our software today. So what I'd like to do now is open it up to any questions that you might have. So there's a Q&A tool that you'll see there. You can go ahead and enter your questions there. And Susan, I'm going to let you monitor that.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
See if we have any questions coming up.
That was very insightful. And we have one question, which is from Terry. And he's asking, do you have a list of typical KPIs for project management? I know you went through the list a little bit, so maybe you could just kind of go through it again. What kind of project management KPIs we can take a look at?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me bring that slide back up. Let me get back to that. There we go. So we should be seeing that on the screen now. So again, from a project management perspective, we can track a lot of different key performance indicators, things like expense versus budget, drilling down to active and completed tasks, depending on how your work breakdown structures are set up from a parent-child relationship in the project, being able to track material by task, time by employee, or even project profitability from a whole, or at that task and cost code level, even down to the sub-job and schedule of value level, you can track project management KPIs throughout Acumatica from within these dashboards like you're seeing here, or all of the reports that are available to you. One of the other unique things about the Acumatica Construction Edition is the report writer and designer is built right into the product. It's our own product, so you don't have to export out to Crystal Reports or Microsoft's SSRS product. You can customize any of the reports and forms right within Acumatica. So hopefully, Terry, that gave you a good idea of what we can do from a PM KPI perspective.
And then we have another, thank you, Mike. We have another question from Michelle. How difficult is it to set up the KPI dashboard?
So it's not very difficult at all, and that's one of the many benefits of Acumatica. The dashboards, each one of these dashboard items, and I know it's hard to see on this particular screen, but each one of these items that you see on a dashboard is what we call a widget. And there are about 8 or 9 different types of widgets that you can set up on a dashboard. And we have a wizard style format to help you set up those dashboards. So it's going to ask you, obviously, what is the title of that particular widget? What are you trying to track? Here's where you're going to find that information, whether it's in a single report, multiple reports, or even perhaps utilizing a generic inquiry or drilling down to the tables in the data behind the scenes. And we open all of that up to you inside of that widget and walk you through next step, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then display the information right there in a dashboard. So we make it really easy to customize and configure dashboards and reports within the system.
Thank you, Mike. And then can you just elaborate a little bit about the KPI? Is the idea is really to manage maybe the exceptions, it sounds like, and to have drill down capabilities so you can go look at those exceptions? Is that really how you would define a KPI?
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, and lots of conversations that I've had with our customers and contractors over the past couple of decades I've been involved in the business is to find out what the pain points are, both internally inside of the office, right? What are the pain points from a communication or collaboration perspective? And then out in the field, what are the pain points that your PMs or field supers are having, and how are we able to fix that with a system like Acumatica from a true cloud perspective? So having conversations, bringing in the right stakeholders, bringing your PMs, your field supers, your office management folks, and understanding here's the issue we're having today. How do we fix that, and how can we track that with a product like Acumatica? So being open and having those conversations from a team perspective is definitely a place that I would start. Define those pain points, and then figure out how we can track that information inside of a product like Acumatica.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. And then another question from John. How do I make sure the KPIs are aligned throughout my organization?
So great question. I appreciate that, John. Again, it's all about communication and collaboration. You've got to make sure the folks in the accounting department, the controller, the AP, the AR clerk, and the project manager understand what type of information each one needs and where that information sits in the system. So having a good understanding of, okay, this is what Bill needs inside of from an AP perspective, and this is what Diane needs out in the field from a project management perspective. The ability to understand exactly what type of data we're trying to track, and then being able to drill down to that data from a KPI perspective. Excellent.
Thank you very much, Mike. And then I just think we have time for one more question here. It's from Christopher. Does it read, I guess, relate to or read import Sage Timberline products, accounting and estimating, or estimated actually?
So yeah, from a budgeting perspective, cost budget perspective, you have the ability to import data from a third-party file. So absolutely, we can take any estimating products, bid, estimate items, and import those directly to Acumatica. There's a really fluid import-export routine built into Acumatica. But then, like I mentioned in the webinar, a product like ProEst, which is another true cloud solution. We have a partnership with ProEst, and if you're utilizing ProEst and Acumatica, when you set the job status in ProEst to awarded, meaning you've won that job, it automatically kicks off a budget and a project in Acumatica, pulls all the information, the customer, the client, the work breakdown structures, the cost items, and populates that right inside of Acumatica. So again, lots of flexibility to get estimating data into the system, but even more flexible if you're using another true cloud solution like ProEst with Acumatica.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And I think we have time for one more question, which is from Rob. Does this software include CRM?
So we do have a CRM module within Acumatica, absolutely. So from a customer relationship management perspective, things like opportunities and leads and even tracking marketing and sales efforts is all part of that CRM module within Acumatica. Great question. And that all ties together. No matter what modules of Acumatica you're utilizing, it's all one database. All that information resides in one product, so you have access to that data for KPI tracking, which makes it really easy to do.
Excellent. Well, we're just about out of time. On behalf of our guest, Mike Gillum, I'm Susan Little, and thank you for your time and participation today, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.